First thing I think of, obviously a good laner, and the Nether Toxin against the likes of Tidehunter is very good. But aside from that,
Matthew
I don't know.
might be very dead here.
Yeah, he could be.
He got
getting
dusted.
chased. He's under the tower, and he's dead. Yamich gets the first blood.
No, he doesn't.
So Secret, the whole team gets first blood.
There you go.
Headlined by Yamich, of course, as Puppey going for the rune. Looks like EG are going to get, is that 3?
They get 4 runes. So honestly, not really that great of a trade.
And might be a second kill, though. They had the blood grenade plus the flame break. Whisper trying to take out Puppey, knowing that he's going to die anyway, but it's not going to happen. So it's 2-0 advantage for Secret. All for the 4 bounties, Cinder.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, this is relatively even. But the experience on the Monkey King in particular is very nice. He's going to hit a fast level 2 bot. I don't think this is a particularly easy lane for Monkey King necessarily, playing against the Snapfire +1. But Secret by laning the... Are they actually going to lane the bat down here? No, he's just going to gate. So it will be Lich Monkey Bot. Snap, one of the better heroes at playing against Frost Shield because she has so much magic damage as her kit that I still think it can be tricky for Monkey King. If he ever reaches like 2/3 or half health, he has to start being careful with getting CS. So very good news for Crystal is that he got not only all that experience, but also one of the kills on the MK. As for the lineups in general, yeah, I'm curious to see, especially mid lane. Like, this Viper was a very late pick. Is it actually going to bully Timber? Is it going to win its lane? The break against Tide will be great later on, but for now, obviously the big thing here is Timber has he lost a lane this tournament?
Probably not.
I feel like he just hasn't. So is this the one?
Well, we'll find out. Bottom lane, Chrysalis getting harassed a bit, but Puppey has come with the Frost Blast. Matthew's going to give the Jingu stacks up for Chrysalis, so you do have to be a bit careful. I mean, there's a lot of harassment from the side of Secret. As C-Smile, on the other hand, we just talking about how Viper would look this game. Not so good, apparently.
All right, Timber once again did not lose his lane confirmed. This lane is, in theory, no longer winnable for Viper, but we'll see if he can somehow find a way.
Coming out, it's going to connect onto both members. And now Yamich, still in that Firefly, able to traverse himself to the other side of the Crystal pathway, which serves a great purpose in the game, of course. Centaur getting in a little bit of action here. Cookie's actually going to save Matthew, as the Frost Shield was going to slow him a bit.
Am I going to have to eat my words here? Is Armel actually going to die from getting the rune?
It's going to be close. Pops the water rune, gets the high ground advantage, and he's dead.
All right, I knew it. I always believed in C-Smile in this lane. I knew Viper would come back after getting killed by Timber level 2.
You just had to say something, didn't you? Flame Break is out, Yamich.
Should be okay here, I think. Yeah, so Armel went for the bottom water rune, and he did get it, but C-Smile connected with a level 3 on the way and got 2 points in poison attack, and obviously Timbersaw did not have any points in the Timber chain. He went 1-0-2, which I think is the way to go in this lane in general, but for that situation, if he was 1-1-1, he would have been completely fine, but Timber chain usually not particularly useful in mid, and like there's just nothing you can connect on, so you will basically never skill it. And now, as a matter of fact, well, this mid lane just turned on its head almost instantly, because now C-Smile is in the driver's seat. He's up by a little bit of experience, gets that level 4, and he's going to start sitting on Armel's high ground and just really pressure him. And I think the real challenge for Viper here is to get as many hits in on Timber as possible before he connects with the creep wave, so that he doesn't get the reactive armor stacks up and running first. Because then all your poison damage kind of gets negated. You see, he will skill that chain point here. Doesn't really want to, but probably going to be necessary in this lane.
A little bit of overconfidence, perhaps, from Armel. Because, I mean, he is playing Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Considered one of the strongest, if not the strongest hero in the game right now.
It needs to be in your player DNA when you play this hero that you push the limit. It's what the hero is about, is really, you know, getting in there and soaking up damage. But Viper matchup might not be one he's particularly familiar with.
No one is familiar with this.
This is a hero that everybody in theory should be familiar with playing against, but there's decay in Dota. If there's a hero you don't lane against for a year or year and a half, like your like just instincts about power levels in the lanes will be outdated, and you won't really know where to push the limits and whatnot. So
Glimpse back, FBZ. He's going to sidestep the Blood Right. As you can see, Yamich coming in from the other side. Gets the Flame Break off, which will buy a little bit of space here for FBZ to be just fine. Firefly, though, good amount of damage to Panda. Pops the wand, though, and Yamich, I don't know if he wants to go any further than this.
Thunder Strike here if he wants to.
Now, bottom lane, Matthew, well, that's the second death for him under that exact same tower. Blood Right will not hit this time, but the Thunder Strike is there from Panda. Another flame break, but you can see the move speed from Pakaz is going to be more than enough. That's going to be the Bloodseeker's kill this time around.
Interesting to see FBZ cancel the gush. I don't know if they were like, all right, you're dead, or if he actually wanted to die and just get the refill on the bat. And he was like, don't try to save me, save your mana for a kill later. Because I think a gush there on Bloodseeker might have actually kept him alive. But sometimes there are situations in lane where it's better to just die and get the refill and come back.
Oh boy, FBZ. Triple team now. Bloodright's there as well as Yamich. He's going to get glimpsed. Tidehunter looks to be fine, though.
That's
Matthew's presence not
so
quite
good.
enough.
Yeah, Flame Break plus Gush is like
Oh, courier kill.
slowing them to a crawl. All right, it wasn't Matthew killing a courier, it was Matthew losing a courier.
Right, well, somebody said, what was it? Is it 8 was the biggest number?
Well, Kezo said Matthew was going to kill 8 couriers and lose.
Oh.
I mean, so far he's killed 1. He killed his own. So,
That's
7
okay.
to go.
Technically correct.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, Whisper's going to have to cookie himself to get out of dodge, but the Sinister Gaze is there. Bristless with a Boundless. Whisper under the tier 1, not going to pursue any further, but a lot of damage was done.
A little bit of a return poke here from Whisper onto Puppey. Yeah, so Snap, despite being a ranged hero, is actually one of the more tanky heroes that you can leave alone in that off lane. He went for the Bracer and has pretty decent base health and a 3.2 strength gain. So despite only being level 4 there, the Monkey King Lich Lane actually unable to find that kill. And Matthew is just off the map looking for...
This is a hard one, though.
Is this possible? I mean,
Well,
maybe
you
with
do have
Viper
Strike now, Armel.
Nice timing.
Oh, beautiful.
All right, that'll do it.
Still on the low ground, and that means C-Smile should get the kill. Armel
So
kicks
clean.
away.
That is such an unexpected gank. Like, you really can't fault Armel for feeling safe there. He knows, yeah, Viper has Viper Strike, but I'm just going to Timber Chain up. But mid-Timber Chain, stun from the Bounty Hunter Shadow Walk there. Clean. Well done by Matthew.
I have to say, the
that
Shadow Walk having the stun now has made this hero just so much more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. You could also say more enjoyable to play, right? It feels more...
That as well.
You feel like you have more options in the first 5 minutes, which have always been, you know, this hero's...
Before it was, I'm going to steal 10 gold from you. Oh, goodness.
Now I'm going to steal 10 gold from you and stun you for 0.8.
That's right.
However much it is low. Is it a full second? It's a full second.
Yeah, that's good.
Treads on Viper. 2k gold lead, by the way. The laning stage going very well for our evil geniuses here.
Well, panel was talking about how EG's lineup has to get off to a good start, and they can really snowball. You have the lane dominators and the Viper, the Bloodseeker, and then obviously once Bounty gets that track, that's when it really takes off, theoretically at least. We'll see if they can continue.
He has some pretty decent friends to gank with the track, right? Like the Viper has a lot of damage as long as he maintains vision in the tree line. Glimpse together with Bounty Hunter is great. You just get vision of heroes and you can pull them back. And Bloodseeker will find targets to rupture and just run in, right? And you know that you have this, again, the Glimpse to cancel TPs. So the combinations are definitely there if they bring the right heroes to the right time. To the right place. Yamich here. Interesting. Not getting caught, though. We will see a rotation here from the Monkey King of Crystallis.
Wukong's command. They flame break him back in, so Pakaz is in a lot of trouble. Panda is here with some support. Matthew comes in as well. Gets a nice stun onto Crystallis as well, who's now just stuck inside his own Wukong's command. But that's a big Mortimer's Kisses from afar. Still 4 members of Seeker here, but they just have to get the hell out. Yamich is going to be fine. Puppey not so much. So a nice turnaround from EG. And they find 2. And they lose none.
Crystallis lost like 60% of his health to a Glimpse Rupture combo. So he's trying to stand his ground in that Monkey King Wukong's, but ended up dying to 2 kisses afterwards. Just nothing left in the tank, really. And yeah, an ambitious play from Secret, but EG were very, very ready for that with the punish. And as much as we've been talking about EG's lineup snowballing, etc., you could also look at it from the other side for Secret. Like, if their early game isn't going well and their supports are under-leveled, where's the playmaking coming from, right? You have a Timber Saw with no real reliable stun setup in your team, except a little bit of a Monkey King stun, level 1. They could just as well fall victim to a weak laning stage in terms of what brings them online. Sure, you want this big team fight with your heroes, but are you even going to have the levels? Puppey's level 5, Yamich is level 4 in a bit, or close to level 5 technically. But obviously no Wisdom Runes available anymore, so they have quite a ways to go to find those 6s. In comparison, Panda is almost 6 on the Disruptor, the Bounty Hunter of Matthew, 5.5. So their pacing and their timing is going to come those couple minutes earlier. That's what you want when you have Bounty in your team. You want to be that step ahead every time. and should be possible.
Should mention, Tidehunter not a hero we've seen a ton of either in this patch. And I think, I would assume, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the big reasons is because Hood no longer exists. Because I feel like once you get that Hood, you just sit in front of a tower, you just don't have to do anything. You just continue to farm, nobody can push that tower.
He might be the single hero that got nerfed the most by that change. I would agree with that. Oh, Armel. Well, it's only a bounty, so he will be okay.
Fine.
Now Glimpse, maybe?
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't even get the Timber Chain off either, but wouldn't have mattered as Armel takes a tumble, and this is getting out of control. EG, they still don't even have track. That's going to make it even worse.
And look at C-Smile here, just bullying 2 supports away on his own. Obviously, level 8 against 2 5s. Can't fight him. If they try to kill him, they lose the 1v2. So, yeah, a lot of pressure being asserted here. We'll be finishing his Dragonlance in 70 gold, so getting some more reach and more damage to keep rolling with the punches. Matthew finding Yamich here in the jungle, and Puppey will definitely die.
Is he actually going to get this solo kill? Puppey, like you said, should be dead. Chrysalis trying to help out his comrade, but the Bat Rider has already died. Blood Grenade, Matthew gives him a little bit of distance along with the track, but Armel, Timber Chain, Chakram, going to be sidestepped. Going to get off another track for the extra
Dust
movement
expires.
speed. And another dust applied. How far can this young man run? Third death to a tower this game? Yes, that is correct.
That is
3 deaths to tier 2 towers in 2 lanes.
in Dota lore. He created the 2nd most space ever. Only second to Elder Titan with that play.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. Crystallis looking for a potential setup. This Smile Viper is very tanky, though.
Okay, the Chain Frost with the Wukong's command. C-Smile actually goes down relatively easily.
Not that tanky. I didn't realize Puppey hit 6. That's definitely the deal.
Damage still not level 6 himself, so not able to get a lasso off. That would have been pretty handy. Thought they might bring the Tidehunter because he does have Ravage now. Armel, again, the Timber Chain fails him, and Mortimer rips him a new one.
Yeah, it's actually, that matchup for Timbersaw in general is very annoying, the Disruptor. Both the Glimpse and Static Storm are great tools against you, and especially when Disruptor's off to this much of a head start, you actually, a lot of the time, fall victim to situations where Timber will usually be able to, you know, push the limit, go for plays like that one. Disruptor's just way too high level. Oh, they're actually going to cookie and, well, don't think it matters. Puppey's very dead to track plus Viper.
Yeah.
Now, no Glimpse available for 5, so Panda, without the 4th point in Glimpse, with the 4th point there, maybe would have been able to reach and get it ready. It's almost level 8 on Disruptor minute 12. This hero is incredible to play with a level advantage on the winning side. And how many games have we seen from EG on this patch with this Bounty Hunter of Matthew just getting off to a head start like this and just the map just disappears. Seemingly 20 minutes in, you have no space left.
Indeed.
It's going that. That's the trajectory right now. Not looking good for Secret.
Yeah, with that in mind, what does Secret need to do? They need to force these fights? I'm guessing they're waiting for this pipe at the very least for the Tide.
It's just far away.
But then you don't really have like true initiation.
He still needs 1,500 gold, and it's hard to find that gold right now. The map is already shrinking. When heroes are off the map for EG, it's very dangerous. In the back of your mind, you're like, oh, wait, they also have a Bloodseeker who's total free farming, by the way. Pakaz is just completely uncontested in the jungle. Now you're going to lose some lunch money to Bounty. Might even get killed here, as a matter of fact.
They're going to try for it. He's attempting to TP out.
All right, nice TP.
Fine.
Cookie was not in time. So at the very least, we'll get out. But yeah, the pacing that EG are bringing to the table here. They have 13-minute Greaves on Whisper.
Huh.
The Viper with a double damage rune bottle and a Dragonlance, and the supports being so high level, they could just run from lane to lane and just fight Secret. And I think if you're Secret, the only way you really win a fight is somehow baiting EG into an unfavorable position where you can hit your big ultis together. Because any of your skirmishing spells just don't match what EG are bringing to the table here. You have to find a way to group them up, and I don't think EG's going to let that happen. They can just keep playing flank, they can keep playing angles. Viper has long range, Snap has long range, Disruptor has insanely long range. Actually going to glimpse the lasso. Very nice here from Panda. And he's going to get, okay.
Can't even deny it if he wanted.
Dialing on him.
Range. Panda.
He is not going to feel
he
bad
will die
about
for it.
Here. That is.
But it does require the Wukong's command. Wukong's is gone now. C-Smile still with that double damage. Not able to find anybody though. Is Matthew. He's going to get gone on. Spotted. Still dusted for the time being, but Whisper's there with the cookie, with the Greaves, and they can actually re-engage if they really want to. I mean, Armel has very little mana to speak of.
Even past him a Lotus there in the middle of that play with Whisper. But yeah, I think Panda feels great about that death. He got lassoed, and he got Wukonged, and he still got the Wisdom Rune.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Puppey threw out the Chain Frost to not kill Matthew. So these are two of Secret's really crucial spells now on cooldown for about a minute, and it's power play time from EG if they want. They don't have to, but I think this bottom tower is just a gimme now. You can just go there with 3 or 4 heroes, take it. Secret are not going to be interested in defending without 3 of their big ultis. So EG are immediately going to make that play call, and I really like this split from them, by the way. It's going to be Viper hitting the tower, and then they have this aggressive positioning from the Bounty and Snap. This is not obvious at all.
Oh boy, they get the track, they get the stun. So many Mortimer's Kisses dead on. Crystallis gets stunned again.
Such a beautiful play, honestly.
Gracious.
This is all enabled by the fact that they have the Bounty Hunter, right? Like, they place the Viper to push the tower. Bounty scouts ahead. They have an idea that Crystallis might be farming there, and they're right. They find him and they execute it. Just very well done from EG. Probably my favorite play of the game there. Just the way they placed their heroes was very solid. And Secret definitely feeling the heat. You kind of got to get something done, right? Like, if you're just sitting back, you have your spells again, so that's the upside. Chain Frost coming up in 5, Wukong's is up in 10, so everything will be available. I'm assuming this is going to be a smoke play when this pipe comes out in 100 gold, or actually just 10 gold here from FBZ. I suppose it's go time, but is that pipe going to block enough?
And we haven't even seen, ever since the very early engagements, Bloodseeker has not been involved at all, hasn't been needed, just been farming away. Puppey's dead. Another track kill the way of EG. And that's 7k net worth lead now. As you can see, Pakaz has the Maelstrom BKB. Gonna go straight for that Mjolnir.
FBZ might end up TPing out here if he gets ruptured.
Rupture is there. And
so,
TP.
And this, you might feel like this is, the Tide is happy with this. It's like, yeah, I got ruptured and lived, but again, it's the pacing of the game. You are being cornered at every turn. They are bullying you away. They're forcing your TPs. Secret have not really made a successful move for 5 minutes, and it feels like it's going to get harder and harder. Matthew being annoying. And Armel is in trouble, actually. I think they're just going to kill him here.
Limps back. Blood Right's there inside the kinetic field as well, but able to Timber Chain to safety.
He was expecting a slightly longer glimpse, as was I. If he got like 300 range further toward that team, they're going to Static Storm him and kill him off. But fortunately for Armel, the glimpse not quite well timed there from Panda.
48 matches with Tidehunter total this patch. It's pretty low.
Yeah, it's not a lot, and I mean, he is ahead of the average timing for Pipe. I wonder if that's because Tides will usually get another build-up item previously that he hasn't been getting here. Because his game hasn't been good enough that he should be beating the average, right? So there's got to be, he must be missing a component that others were getting.
And from EG's side, just continuing the aggression. Matthew all over the place. Oh, he's going to spot Crystallis. Oh, stuns him mid-air. That actually worked out quite well for Crystallis. No track either. He's able to get away.
That's very fortunate for Crystallis. If that track got off.
Is he baiting? He's just standing there. Gets the track off on a Puppey, takes a Boundless Strike for his troubles. He actually goes inside of the Static Storm. But it's not going to matter much as they're pursuing Matthew. You can see the mass TPs now from EG. They want to fight. And Crystallis, well, he gets glimpsed back. Ruptured. Wukong's command comes out, trying to focus on the Bloodseeker, but now he can't leave because he's ruptured. Finally, the first Ravage of the game onto 2 heroes, but Crystallis is dead right off the bat. The Disruptor is the trade for now, but you can see Pakaz, he's getting extremely low and trying to get kited here via Yamich and Puppey. They do find a very valuable kill, surprisingly so. And Matthew with the track kill. Ends up being a 2 for 2, which...
That was a much better outcome.
Considering how this game has gone, yeah, this is a decent fight for Secret.
I thought Secret genuinely were going to lose that fight 5-1. I thought they were going to get the 1 kill on Disruptor and then get cleaned up, but Puppey, in tandem there with Yamich, did a good job at preventing the Bloodseeker from really running rampant in that fight. So with this glimpse here into Rupture, really nice combination. Crystallis is already dead. I like this from Pakaz a lot, that he just moves on to the next target. He's like, all right, I'm going to BKB and run someone else down. You guys got this with the Snapfire ult. The problem is, by doing this, he does get separated from his teammates, and ultimately his BKB expiring, Puppey and Yamich will connect their spells there and find that Bloodseeker kill. And Armel doing a ton of heavy lifting with tanking, really, in that fight. Just tons of space.
Yeah, I think part of that was, obviously, like you said, the fight was isolated, but once the Monkey King died, the last two remaining members on the other side of the fight were Tide and Timber, super high HP. Bloodseeker's not able to get that extra move speed that he would normally want in a late fight like that.
And of course, keep in mind, both Lich and Bat Rider with some massive slows as soon as the BKB runs out. So even if you are fast, it's hard to outrun a Frost Blast slow as well as the 25% slow from Flame Break. Pretty strong combination there.
Well, we do have Whisper picking up the Aghanim Scepter, so Gobble Up is online.
What do you toss in? So Viper has BKB as well, so you could easily toss in either Viper or the Bloodseeker. And you can toss in Bounty Hunter, which is actually kind of cool, because
I won't see him.
Is the projectile invisible if you're throwing an invisible hero?
I would guess the projectile is still visible.
It's still visible and still plays the sound, right? So, yeah, otherwise that would make no sense. If there's anything Dota has down to a T, it's realism. So
it's still a double stun, though, right? If he's Shadow Walk.
It's still a cool combo for sure. It feels a lot better if Matthew has some sort of mobility item. If he has a Force Staff, so he can just get in, get the stun, get out, and reset. He doesn't have that. When he has Lotus, it becomes better too. But
I was a little disappointed C-Smile went for BKB because originally he had queued up an Aghanim Scepter. What do you think of Viper Ags?
I really...
Nosedive.
It's like one of the hardest items for me to place in Dota in terms of power level. I genuinely don't understand when and how good it is. I've seen players buy it and it's been great. I've seen players buy it and it's been terrible, and I haven't been able to like discern one game to the next. Well, like, why was it a good game?
I'm sure the corrosive skin doubling effect I think is based on how far away they are, right? So it's good against melee heroes, and then the nosedive I would assume is good if you have multiple right clickers in the enemy team, but who knows?
Yeah, it's just like you're holding it up against. Let's say you get Scotty.
Well, of course,
right? It's like.
Yeah, of course.
The comparison is, I don't know, it's hard to see. All right, lasso.
Speaking of C-Smile, gets lassoed and gets destroyed. Nice pick off from Secret.
And I had to use 2 ults for that one, but it is a big kill. Still, once he respawns, all right, there's the gobble. Gobble, gobble.
Yep, delicious, Matthew. Doesn't actually stun, but Armel pops the BKB.
Yeah, early BKB purchase from Timber. We don't see this so often anymore. BKB's second item here after the Kaya. Feels like he needs it. I like this choice a lot from Armel. I think you could have taken a pipe route, but I actually think you're going to get exploited too much in the fight, so you need the freedom of movement against the Disruptor, against the stuns. And this also means that even if you get ruptured, you actually still have a bit of play, because you can take some of the rupture damage and still output, since effectively in your BKB, you're rendering 3 or 4 heroes in the enemy team almost.
Nice cancel of the cookie. Static Storm is there to try to counteract this, but it's only Puppey inside the kinetic field. A nice Ravage onto 3. Disruptor's dead. Whisper looks to be next potentially, but you can see Pakaz trying to connect with his team. Doesn't look like it's going to turn into much as Secret get 2 freebies.
EG dropping the ball a bit here. They were in such a commanding position and now have been getting caught out. Secret find all the right opportunities. That's a 5k gold swing in the last few minutes here by just picking off heroes that weren't connected with each other. And we've been mentioning how Secret's lineup fare as well in these teamfight situations. And EG are kind of giving them teamfights without even having numbers themselves. So at that point, it's very easy. Gotta sharpen it up. You do have the Aegis here on Bloodseeker for another 3 minutes, so definitely ready to fight. He's also stupidly fast right now with both Puppey and Armel being so low and heading back to base, but no target in sight, so can't really use it for anything.
I believe Ice Shire is now online.
Oh, Ice Shire.
Yeah, my favorite.
Yep.
So Puppey getting...
build a little city.
Used to be such a terrible shard, but, you know, the micro buffs, they come to everything in Dota.
It's pretty good now.
It's quite good. Extra bounce target, nice slow. Pretty annoying to have to kill.
Yeah.
And is the Tormentor, did they take the... No, the Tormentor's still alive for EG, so... It's been up for 4 minutes, of course. Now, how are their shards? We got the Disruptor one, and... I guess Bounty, right? So the Bounty, Invis, and Ally could be pretty good for the Bloodseeker, I guess. And then Disruptors is... Or they did change that one. It's okay now, right?
It's the Thunderstrike can cast on ground and have more range.
It gets the extra bounces.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the ground part is just the weird part. But
EG going to be putting the Aegis to use here. Pakaz will claim this mid tower.
Middle tower has fallen.
Secret uninterested in fighting without Ravage. They have it in 20, and then at that point we might see them just look for a head-on engagement. But EG might make the move first. They will be looking for a smoke play, but well aware of it. Well aware of it. That was hard to say, apparently. Crystallis will get out of there.
just practicing your Dracula accent.
Yes.
Lotus now online for Matthew.
AG are not going to find anything. Secret with good map movements here. Say that, maybe Yamage is actually going to run into... Oh, okay, he's toast now.
Yeah,
well,
he might be.
Jump the gun on that one.
And dead. Track kill, the wave EG, but again, not the worst. Do have less than a minute now on the Aegis, so Secret, I feel like ever since the Aegis has been picked up, they've actually just gotten back in this game for the most part.
Yep. Pretty ironic that that's how it's gone, but absolutely the case. It's a pretty even game at this point, and a lot of it is going to come down to whether EG find the right initiation type. They want to, if they can, toss in the Bounty Hunter or toss in the Bloodseeker and find a first quick pick on the right hero and then avoiding clumping up. So the one thing that you really fall victim to against the Secret lineup is if your heroes are piled on top of each other, you get Ravaged, you get Wukonged and Chain Frosted. But if you're well spread out, a lot of Secret's combos aren't really that intimidating. So I would say the best possible pick you find on the map is actually the Bat Rider, because then Secret can't really initiate fights reliably. It's the lasso that they've been relying on so much from Yamage. So if he's out of the picture, it's a lot easier for EG. Secret, on the other hand, might be looking to smoke now with this Aegis expiring.
Yep.
They have everything, so if they are fancying their chances, they could go for a play.
Yeah, Crystallis, is he close to anything? He's going to go for the Nullifier next, but he's spent all his money, so this would be a good time. He's got the BKB, Echo Saber, Deso.
Armel's being hounded here.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty annoying. A gobble up, connect, pops the BKB, TP. Will it be enough?
Nope.
Oh!
Yes! Holy, I was sure he was going to die there.
All right, well, that's Rupture down.
Okay, nice escape from
Longest
Armel.
cooldown.
For the twins.
Yeah, that was close.
That was very close, but with those 30 stacks of reactive armor, he did stay alive through all of that.
How is the late game Bloodseeker versus Monkey matchup, would you say?
It's pretty interesting when Bloodseeker starts capping out, because the Shard actually shifts the balance of that matchup by quite a bit, I would say. Bloodseeker is one of the few heroes that can take the fight to Monkey King even within the ring. You just have so overwhelmingly strong single target damage if you have the right itemization for it. Probably looking at Shard, Butterfly, and maybe a Scotty, and you could, you know, take the fight to him. But more importantly, like, it's always going to be an issue for Monkey King to play against Rupture, right? This hero likes being mobile in fights. Even when you throw down Wukong's command, a lot of the time you will need to jump into a tree, or you will need to navigate the ring to keep hitting heroes as they're running away, and Bloodseeker's just going to make that a lot harder for you. And I guess something we also need to get used to in our mindset is Blood Mist might also be an item, right? Like,
Sure.
I haven't really thought about it much until yesterday, but when I saw it played there, it looked really good when Duracio brought it out.
I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, of course.
For a year now.
Like, when will this item ever be good? And
Oh, we've talked about it before.
it might
Just
be there.
needed a couple patches, you know? The usual Ice Frog treatment.
Yeah. Buff
Now it's situationally
17
good.
times. Now it's sometimes good.
That's right. Sometimes. That's what you need.
Matthew gets the track here.
Oh, he chops down the tree as well. Bloodright's coming, but there's the lasso. They find the Bloodseeker. Do they have the damage to follow it up with? Nice Ravage on the 3 heroes, but the Static Storm is placed. Pakaz pops the BKB, Rupture, and runs away. Wukong's command just to zone. Crystallis doesn't really want to fight, but actually tries to TP out, but he's glimpsed. So now he's kind of just stuck inside his own ring, and he's going to get dropped as a result. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, C-Smile uses his Viper Strike onto Yamage. Looks like that'll be a freebie as well. And the Bloodseeker, the Bounty Hunter, the only kill that Secret were able to secure, so a 2-for-1.
And they spent a lot there. They used Ravage, Wukong's, and Lasso to only kill a support bounty, so EG could look to press the advantage here and just look for some high ground damage. Knowing that Monkey King, they don't know about the buyback status here, obviously, but Secret really do not want to buy back their heroes. Frost Shield will be nice, though. Frost Shield plus Glyph. They still have the glyph available. Going to use it after the shield expires, you would imagine.
Yep.
And that's probably the end of that. So Secret not going to lose too much of their structural integrity here. But they do lose quite some significant map control here. EG are starting to play some very good offensive wards. They have a good ward in the top lane, seeing if Secret split up. They have an offensive ward in the bottom half at this bottom camp as well. And a secondary ward there even. So if they are going to gate to top, Roche is not up until in a minute and a half. So he will be at daytime Roche, which is good news for Secret, obviously, with the gate or with the outpost advantage. But there's so much vision down here for EG. They've definitely prepared for this to be a thing soon.
Whisper, he's going to get initiated on, and that is the entirety of Secret here to greet him. Good pick off for them. They actually spot Pakaz, but without Lasso, it's going to be a bit of a difficult kill. Gets the Rupture off. Yule's going to dodge the Blood Right, blinks away, but that's a lot of damage from the Rupture. Glimpse back and dead.
Dude, Rupture is such an unforgiving spell. It's just so...
Really
Oh, Crystallis is under that ward. They have Glimpse again.
But
no track on Crystallis, though. It's only FBZ. They could Glimpse his TP, though. They will.
Yeah, they will. FBZ. Is he stuck?
Oh, don't tell me.
Is he stuck? I guess so, yep.
He was actually...
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, my God.
That is really unfortunate.
I didn't even know you could get stuck there.
There's always some places like that, I guess. Puppey gets off his Chain Frost and the Ice Spire, or Shire, sorry, Cinderin.
Sorry.
3-0. And EG...
Back to high ground, and no glyph this time, and no Frost Shield. Puppey might actually need to buy back here if Secret want to try to stall this out by Frost Shielding the melee barracks, but with him not buying back, this lane is definitely gone. No defense being mounted now, so finally EG after... I mean, dropping the ball a little bit, they get back on track, and no pun intended, Matthew.
And drums are popped, he's going to be fine. And now that the Linkage is on Pakaz as well, that means Lasso is going to be not intended for him anymore, unless you're able to break it. Which, from Secret's perspective, there are a couple spells, but you have to be relatively close. And like you talked about, the main initiator is the Bat Rider.
Yeah.
So somebody has to be ahead of the Bat Rider somehow to be able to pop that. So back up to a 12K lead for EG. They take that set of racks in the bot lane. And we haven't really mentioned Whisper level 17. Once he hits that level 20, then he'll start doing a lot of damage. You can see he's already itemizing towards that.
Oh, this could be the deciding factor of
the
this fight
gobble up
here.
onto Yamich. Gets off the Yules, but he's going to die shortly after. Actually does get the lasso off, so delaying his death a lot. But will die nonetheless. So 50 seconds. Actually just got buyback now. And the Ravage is only going to hit one. It's the Viper. C-Smile pops the BKB inside the cover of that Static Storm, but it's not going to be enough for him to live. But Crystallis is going to be the trade as Armel taking a full little shredder to the back of the head. That's the buyback now into Crystallis. Puppey TP's out.
Yeah, miscommunication there from Secret. Crystallis wanted to reconnect to this fight, but the rest of the team had nothing left, so effectively just throws a buyback into the ocean here. Is not going to have that for a base defense soon. Was hoping they could turn this into more, but not the case. Yeah, FBZ, he is frontlining here and looking for that Ravage, but there's only a BKB Bloodseeker, not really a target you want to use it on, and then now that they do find this connection onto C-Smile with the Fear, they kind of have to Ravage to try to turn this into some sort of pressure, but C-Smile does get off the Viper Strike before dying, and that just makes that cleanup onto Monkey King very easy. And Armel, no chance in hell to get out of there. And it's just over.
Yep, and that is the second Roche of the game now, going the way of EG. You can see Pakaz gets the Aegis, and the cheese goes to Whisper. And you can see that Aghanim Scepter from Whisper has been used very effectively this game. Kind of doesn't even matter who he throws in. Feels like they end up winning the fight regardless.
He has some good friends to throw, right? He has two BKB cores that are inherently tanky, and he has the Bounty Hunter who doesn't necessarily mind too much getting tossed as well. Shard will now be picked up by Tide, getting that from...
Yeah. I don't like that Shard, by the way.
Yeah, don't like some little tendrils.
That's the third Impale. I'm just going to call it Impale. So we have 3 impales in the game now.
Yeah. But this one is with tentacles, and therefore it's better.
It's the most uninteresting spell in the entire game, in my opinion.
There's some pretty uninteresting.
You can think about that for a while.
Yeah.
That was like, we're out of ideas, let's give him impale. I missed that spell. Lion's not played anymore, right? So, sure.
Not much.
And Nyx as well.
Is Kaka in this tournament?
That's a good point.
Radiant's top tower is under
The one Lion player in the world. See Smile and company now, focusing on the tier 2 top. That's going to be a freebie for them.
And I think you just go high ground here. Send Matthew in front, or not Matthew, sorry, Pakaz with his 3k health and Aegis and Lincolns. Even if they lasso and pull him into the base, on his second life he can just pre-pop BKB instantly and they can turn it into a fight. So I don't think he should be too scared of that proposition.
One Timbersaw illusion has been killed by the enemy team for 24. Very interesting statistic.
All right, nice contractual obligation there. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's the best stat I've seen all week. That makes me think of the old Centaur Manta days, Cinder. I miss that interaction. It was good for a week. I remember Loda abused it.
Yep.
And then instantly fixed as a quote-unquote bug.
scanning.
17k lead now for EG, and the Aegis has about 2.5 minutes left. I think the Swift Blink is what Pakaz wants to finish off before
It's coming
ending
out.
the game. It's on the way.
It is arriving here. So
Not quite level 25 yet.
yeah,
Do you ever not take double rupture?
no.
What is the other one? Is it the
18% move speed on Thirst. 80% max, rather.
I mean, is that good? It's so hard to quantify.
Yeah, I mean, it is good. It's just not 2 rupture charges. So.
Yeah.
There are definitely still some talent choices in Dota that are very lopsided. I think they've done a good job over the last couple of years of making it more appealing to take the alternative. But there are still some that are just very egregiously one-sided, and that's one of them. I don't think I've ever seen a pro player not take that one.
I genuinely
games.
don't know what Snapfire's other 20 and 25 talents are, actually.
Yeah, so one of them is more damage on kisses, and the other one is more kisses launched, which, if you play support Snap and you're not farmed, those are definitely the better choice. But Snap doesn't really get played that way very
Yamich
often.
was looking for the opening, but
The
like we
glimpse
talked
with
about,
track.
yeah, Pakaz has that Lincoln, is finally going to get popped via the Nullifier, but while this is happening, the second set of racks is taken. Well, 1.5 taken. The important one is taken. Puppy gets initiated on by Pakaz, but won't live. Or won't die, I should say. As Mortimer's from afar.
It was a 50-50.
Just to create space here. Second set for EG as they're looking to finish this game. And this is where Secret need to defend. Trying to force out these BKBs. Nullifier reflected again. Lotus has been quite value. And still Aegis another 37 seconds, so you do have to be a bit careful. There's a double damage in the top side of the rune, or top side of the river as well.
Secret are very, very pinned here. They know they have one chance, and they know that the conditions for this fight are very, very much easier to meet without an Aegis on the enemy team. So I'd imagine they're going to try to look for a smoke play when Pakaz's Aegis expires. I think if you just play back on the map, you're going to eventually get caught by some bounty plus snap combination, get killed, and then lose anyway. So better to try to take matters into your own hands and not let EG fully set up for a third Roche, which would absolutely end the game. So you just have to take a risk, and I think this is a low probability play from Secret, but it's one you've got to take. Even if it's a 10% chance of winning, it's better than just sitting back and most definitely losing. So it does look like that's the plan they're making here. They are making a setup.
Drums popped.
Armel will frontline this.
Yeah, they spot Pakaz. They actually popped the
Oh,
Lincolns, but
good
not
reaction.
quite there with that lasso. Now the Rupture comes out. Number 1 onto Yamich.
Yeah.
And he's going to take some Mortimer's Kisses. Actually gets canceled pretty much off the bat. Looks like that's going to be the death of Bat Right. Does have the buyback, though. Armel forced to pop the BKB and Timber Chain away. Puppy's just dead. Finally, Wukong's command comes out from Chrysalis, but he's losing the man fight. It's a 2v1 essentially. Pakaz heals basically to full HP. Armel brought back into the grips of Pakaz as he gets the double kill.
Well, it was 10%, so it was the expected outcome, but they went for it. I can respect it. They gave it a good college try, and they kind of had to, you know? There wasn't much else to do there for Secret, and yeah, EG, it ended up taking them 40 minutes. I have to say, like, very impressive first 15 from them, and then a little bit sloppy, but they set the foundations for taking this one home pretty convincingly, all things considered. And also at the same time, not necessarily the worst look for Secret. I think they could have absolutely just completely crumbled there and just lost it in 20 minutes. So they managed to stabilize, but never really got ahead.
Yeah, that, like you said, early game could have gone way worse, as Secret didn't really get off to a very good start, but they did stabilize and capitalize. I mean, I feel like it